Hey, real quick, I know it's getting cold outside. We just released our Misfit podcast hoodies on rightrides.com. So if you guys want to support the show, hit the link below.
Yeah, thank you for letting me come on your podcast. It's sick. Well, I like what you're doing, man. I like the things. I've been watching it for a little bit now. Then it was just like, yeah, it's sick.
What is up, Bike Life fam? Welcome back to their Misfit podcast. Welcome if you're new. Thank you guys for tuning in today because I am juiced, bro. Beyond stoked to announce today's guest. This guy is by far the most well-known, most influential rider that we've had on the show yet. Please help me welcome the London legend himself, Jake100. What's up, Jake?
What's going on? How you doing?
Man, early morning.
Early morning for you.
Yeah, but I'm doing good. Doing good. Stoked to have you on the show, bro. Like, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I know there's a lot of people here on the U.S. that are big fans of yours, so let's get into it.
It's my pleasure, man. I'm excited.
First off, how's the weather out there right now?
Oh, today is not actually that bad. It's pretty nice today. It's nice for a little Sunday ride. We're supposed to be going on a little ride later, but it's cold. It's got super cold. It's pretty much gloves weather, 3 jackets, like 2 hoodies and a t-shirt sort of weather. And it rains most days at the moment, at least at some point. So yeah, not the best, kind of going into the shit couple of months now, but today I can see some blue in the skies, which is pretty nice. You know, I ain't seen that for like a week or so. So yeah, it should be. But the ground's still wet though, as it is every day.
Right.
So yeah, hopefully it dries up in a bit.
So, where are you currently living?
Currently living in Stratford in East London.
East London.
So yeah, East London, like straight East London now. Before I was living at my mum's. She lives in kind of like northeast London, about 15-20 minutes other way in East London, but I've moved a bit closer to the city and round the corner from like where we train all the time.
Nice. So you born and raised London?
I'm raised to East London, yeah.
Dang.
From birth.
So how was that growing up in East London?
It's cool. So yeah, growing up in, I guess it's probably similar to growing up in any major city in the sense like there's so much going on. Like there is, I guess, a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of negative things going on, a lot of positive things going on. So I guess, and up in a major city, it's just and keep your head screwed on and make sure you pick that right positive path that you kind of have to discover it for yourself though in the city. Like the negative things it's easy to get drawn into, but the positive side of things it's like you really got to work hard to kind of stay on that path. So yeah, I guess growing up in London had its challenges, had its setbacks, but made me who I am today. So I love it for it.
Facts, bro. Facts.
Mm.
So, do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I got an older brother.
Okay. Does he ride bikes?
Yeah, but he doesn't ride.
No?
No, he doesn't ride. Plays like music and stuff, yeah. He's pretty much like, he's almost the opposite of me, which is kind of like, yeah, pretty much almost the opposite. Doesn't really go out much, doesn't ride, video games.
Vibing on the music,
yeah. Own thing. Yeah, I'm just...
So, who introduced you to bikes?
Being my dad. Growing up, when I was young, my dad always rode motorbikes. He had his motorbikes, big, massive motorbikes. He'd go on motorbike tours and stuff. And then we obviously, like, he used to take me out on pedal bikes as well. So I guess my dad introduced it, and I always wanted to, like, ride a motorbike like my dad. I always wanted to just ride bikes like my dad did. So he never wheelied or anything. He didn't really know or care about that side of things. So I didn't when I started riding. But yeah, it's definitely my dad who introduced me, and
how old are you?
Never got off a bike since. I was riding since I can remember, like on a bike, whether it was like one of them little Strada bikes or one with like stabilizers. Like yeah, literally riding since one of my first memories is riding.
That's dope.
Yeah, literally, I just remember falling off in the park trying to go around the corner. That's one of my earliest memories. Um, yeah, literally just been riding either mountain bikes or BMX pretty much ever since, which is, yeah, journey.
Nice. So, uh, it wasn't your dad that like was doing wheelies. So like, what inspired you to like do all the wheelie tricks and stuff and go that route?
Yeah, so I ended up my early teens, so like 11, 12, 13. I started to BMX, like I wanted BMX, but I thought it was the coolest bike. Get BMX, got a little mongoose.
Okay.
Used to ride around on a mongoose, pop a couple wheelies here and there. Found out there was a skate park down the road from me. I getting into BMX in a bit, starting to take it a bit further. And at these times, I was like a avid football player, soccer player, as you guys will call it. I was like that was my. If I didn't make it as a soccer player, I'm not gonna be happy, sort of thing. Like that was my dream, my be all and end all. Um, Up getting injured on the BMX bike, but at the time I got injured, I started to really love riding, like BMX. I started to really, really love it. Then I got injured, injured my knees pretty badly. Over the next year I had like 2 operations on my knee.
Oof.
Not anything major, but then in the recovery from those operations, part of my like rehab, I had to get on a bigger bike than a BMX so that I could sit down and pedal. And there wasn't too much weight going from my leg, and the angle my knee was bending at wasn't too acute. You know, it
Right.
was like a night. It was a lot more chill.
Right.
In on that bike and me loving tricks, I was like, oh, like now I'm riding this bike, I'm still gonna do tricks, and that's when I started to just learn to wheelie. And my mates had mountain bikes, so we were all just kind of riding around local estate, outside the youth centre, local park. We were just riding around seeing who could wheelie for longer, and that's kind of how it all. That's literally how it kicked off for me. To see a couple of the older lot, like from my local area, used to see them doing wheelies down the high street and stuff. Nothing, no tricks or anything. It was just literally like one
Mobbing
hand
wheelies. Yeah.
or as far as you can go, or one hand, and that was like literally the only 2 things you would do on a bike.
And I was gonna ask, is like, where did you see the wheelie thing? But I guess, just like the older kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah, literally like just saw them hopping wheelies, knew a couple of them. I was like, fuck man, I want to wheelie like that. I want to beat them in a wheelie. Like, so yeah, literally just saw the old guy, and then it kind of expanded from there because I would post 1 or 2 videos on my Instagram. Just like I was like, oh, it's cool. Like I started popping wheelies with one hand, and started doing like little swerves and whatnot. And I think around these times, I think I probably saw D blocks, maybe D blocks, and maybe one. There was some guy called Bike Life All Day, and some guy called Wild Boy Zay from Baltimore.
Okay.
That's who I saw back in the day. Them 3, literally them 3, and they were doing crazy tricks. I was like, fuck, I didn't know people even did tricks.
Yeah.
That's when I started to like look at their tricks, either try their tricks or you can make my own ones or make my own ones that they haven't even done before. You know, that was
Right.
kind of my mindset from then. Yeah, that's kind of how I started to progress into the tricks. I guess like I started doing 1 or 2 myself, and then saw these guys with a whole array of them. I'm like, shit, there's a lot of tricks you can do on a wheelie. Like I had no idea. So yeah, just started sessioning those tricks, coming up with my own, and all that stuff. Yeah, kind of just took off.
I miss those days of like when everything was just mind blowing, bro. You look online and you were just like, "What, bro? Look at all these people! Like just mobs of bikes and stuff." I remember that. Those are good days.
Best trick was like a seat stand.
Right.
Back in the day, like there was no such thing as combos. Kids doing crisscross on stump pegs, like that was not happening. It was like you were either touching the floor, standing on the seat, knocking, and that's or doing something with your legs over the bars, and that was pretty much it. Like there really wasn't that many tricks. So I miss those days where it was like kept seeing people doing new tricks. Like yeah, those days were fun, super fun.
Yeah, it's a it's a trip. Like the bike life stuff and online because I discovered it probably far later than you did. So some of like the first people that I saw online was actually like you, Wheelie K, Conrad, and like One Way Corey and D Blocks, obviously. And when I think I actually found you guys out in the UK first, to be honest. Because I somehow found Wheelie K's page, so shout out to Wheelie K. But yeah, and that's where I discovered you. So it was just like I couldn't believe the culture that was out there already. You know, I was like, damn, when did this happen, bro?
It took off pretty quickly out here, to be honest. Like pretty quickly in the sense. Well, at the early stages, the first year or two that I was riding, there was like the first year was literally like 5 of us every weekend. Maybe there was 6 or 7 if someone brought their mate down, but like we weren't getting a ride out over 10. And if we were, fucking like we were over the moon, like we were amazed. Like 10 people in a ride, are you mad? So, but then started to go super quickly. I think everyone in the UK scene seems to be super social media savvy, like on this social media, good at creating content, like has that as part of a focus. And I think that was really that must have played a big part in growing it quick, because it meant it was going out to all these kids in the UK that hadn't seen it, and they're seeing other kids their age doing all these crazy tricks. I think that's just something super appealing. And then we also had the Bike Storms ride out, the first one, and after that, like you can kind of see the growth in the scene by going to a Bike Storms, because every Bike Storms you go to now is bigger than the one before. So
yeah, I wanted to bring up the Bike Storms thing because lots of people here in the U.S. have no idea about it, and it blows me away because like I remember seeing aerial shots of one of the rides or something, and I was just like, that is the most bikes I think I've ever seen.
The Bike Storms ride outs are nuts. Like when there was no COVID or anything. So this year was like, we had a good one earlier this year, but it wasn't like one of the spectacular, like everyone's talking about for months ones. It was like, it was sick, but it was like as good as it could be during this time, basically. Right. Last year, massive, like huge. Like I think one of the rides we had like 4,000 or 5,000 riders. That's what the police told us. That's not even us guessing. That's what the police were guessing. And they had the helicopter in the sky and everything. So
damn, how are the cops out there?
Oh, cool. You get the cops who have woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Do you know what I mean? But you can know what, like a lot of the time. Do you know what I think? It's like here, kind of give what you get. A lot of the time with the police, like you know, like if they come up to you guys and whatnot, and you like are open to talking to them and kind of explaining, as long as you haven't done anything wrong, obviously,
right? And
they kind of just checking on your, like they've seen you wheelie and they kind of want to you be safe or whatever. Like if you actually just stop and kind of chat to them, like they ain't that bad, and if anything, they like the wheelies and they think it's a good thing for the kids to do. Like the guy came up to us the other day and was just like, yeah, like, I'd rather kids be out here riding than whatever else they could be doing, you know? So the police kind of like understand it and get it now. Like unless you're doing something stupid or riding stupidly, like crazy, recklessly in front of a policeman, yeah, it's pretty chill. Like they kind of support it. And I don't know, police, they end up like half the time they stop me, they end up following me on Instagram after, and yeah, it's pretty chill.
So I wanted to ask about the police because I've noticed in like your videos that they seem pretty chill and like they seem I don't really know. I guess just pretty chill as far as it goes. But from what I've come to find out, bro, is that as far as London is concerned, bro, you're the guy. Like I did some research on you, bro, and there's news articles and like I really feel like the reason why maybe the police out there are the way they are is because of like the news articles all say it, bro. Like you're the head of the movement, regardless. You know what I mean? I don't really know what's going on out there, but that's what I'm reading, and they're saying, you know what I mean? Like you are that positive head leading the bike life movement out there, and like they want to work with somebody like that, you know?
Yeah,
So I
and I
think that's
guess like
hugely related to you.
I think that's something that the UK scene was pretty focused on and very aware of as a scene, like from early compared to maybe like in America or Paris or these other scenes. Is we were very aware of the image of the scene as a whole. Like because the first bike storms, the article about it is like 300 hooded chavs riding through the city causing mayhem. But then the last bike storms last year, the article's like an amazing event that brings young people together to fight against knife crime. I mean, and it was like there was a whole twist. We're like, yo, they're actually talking positive about us now. Like
Right.
the first when they had no idea about it, it was like very negative, and it kind of made us. It really sunk in. Was like, yo, the whole world is gonna judge us by our cover, not by finding out about who we are, why we do what we do. You know, the whole world is so quick. We're young people from London in tracksuits. You know, like the news tell the rest of the country that we're criminals. That's what the news is telling people. You know, so we were very aware that one, we're not those type of people that we're doing, and we've got good hearts and we want to do good things. And two, we have to like prove that now. Like we now have to prove it to them, you know. And yeah, with the bike storms movement, that played a big role because it's showing how many people can come together with no fights, no one stabbing each other, on robberies. All these kids are literally just out riding a bike, and you got kids who should hate each other because of the areas they're from are riding next to each other, filming each other. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a
It's huge, bro.
beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
huge.
we just super conscious, and then but we actually want to do good for the young people. You know, like the people who've kind of got somewhere in the scene out here, like Mac who run bike storms, myself, and a couple of the other guys. It's like we feel blessed to be in the position we are in, so it's only right that we kind of make sure the scene stays positive and that the young people are coming up with something positive to do and trying to create opportunities for them to stay away from the negative things basically. And
Yeah,
that in turn just shines a really good light on the scene. Yeah, great thing.
most definitely. Yeah, I follow
Yeah,
Mac too, and I've seen. I don't know. I've talked to him a couple times on Instagram and stuff, and I fully support you guys, bro. What you guys are doing
yeah,
with the bike storms thing is it's amazing for like what you guys have going on out there with like the knife violence and stuff like that, and just seeing how he talks to like the community and stuff, and the fact that like you guys try and keep a lid on, you know what I mean, making sure that it's a positive thing. Which, man, I can't wait for people to see this podcast to hear what you're saying, because like you're totally right. Like the world judges us by the cover. You know what I'm
straight
saying?
away.
So, and that's uberly important when it comes to like keeping what we're doing alive, you know?
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I guess we had a real focus and a real like drive to keep, and for 1 or 2 years, not stressful, but I had its moments of like, how do we keep this scene looking so positive when the like, do you know what I mean? Like there were times where we're like, fuck, like shit's like stressing a bit about it. Here. Things would go on, like someone would get stabbed, like some kid got stabbed in the park where everyone chills, but it was nothing to do with us. But it looks like it was everything to do with us because it's the
Right.
park where all the bikes chill. But two kids bump into each other from South London, and one of them stabs each other, and like you know what I mean. Like there's just so many. Knowing the world, they're so quick to jump on. Yo, the bike, where all the bikes chill, and do you know what I mean? So
Yep.
yeah, we just work hard and do what we want to do, and just kind of like just try and keep the scene positive, just shine a good light on it, and like, but since the scene has such a positive outlook, there's so many more opportunities within the scene for the young people as well, which is a great thing to get in return.
Yeah, man. I respect and commend the hell out of you, bro, because
I appreciate it.
you're in a position of like influence, bro, straight up, and you have really awesome companies that are backing you. I'm not sure who they all are, other than like Nike London Collective, and you have your own thing too, yeah.
I'm in the process of setting up my own brand called Down to Ride.
Down
At
to
the
ride,
moment,
yeah.
it's at the moment it's a project um, up a project to help young people learn bicycle mechanics, and then basically, if they want to take it seriously, we pay for their qualification. So that's kind of like a project that I've been working on and setting up. And then we done another little charity event the other week. But in the long run, I'm gonna try and make it my brand and kind of expand it to like events, production, clothing,
Nice.
charity projects, like just trying to expand big. But yeah, like yeah, that's my thing. That down to ride, and then off the streets. I'm part of Off the Streets, but that's a race series.
Okay.
With the world's first wheelie race.
First wheelie race. What?
You not seen it?
No,
Check it
no.
out.
Dang,
Off the
yeah.
streets, yo, we got the opportunity. I reached out from a guy called Matt Ricola. He's one of the fixie riders, courier out in London. Does all the alley cat races. Went to New York and did the big alley cat race in New York. And he goes around the world doing it. Met him a while ago. Cool, we got on touch base. I would go to these alley cats. Like I would mess with the fixie scene and show love to the fixie scene and kind of hang out with them. And because you know, like they ride bikes in the city the same way we do through the traffic and like an alternative way of not normal. You know, like doing it without brakes. We're doing it on one wheel, but they're doing it without brakes. So I fucking play to them.
Right. Yeah.
He basically, his cycling team, they trained on a go-kart track, and then basically got the opportunity to have the go-kart track to set up a race. And he reached out to me, was like, "Yo, do you want to help a wheelie race?" And kind of on a wheelie race there, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, why not?" Like, never really thought about it like that, like wheelie race on a track. Like, thought about wheelie racing in the street, like you can get past that block quickest or whatever, but nothing format to it, you know. And that was a real exciting thing. We've had 2 of those so far. Sick. Wheelie racing.
Nice.
It was hella fun. All the fixie guys and all the spectators that were there was just like, yo, this is the race we never thought we needed.
Right. Damn.
So tense. Tense. Because like anyone, like, yeah, it's tense. Just check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, like I said, from my standpoint, doing research on you, like, you're the guy, bro. You're the guy out there, or at least one of the main ones for sure. So how did you, well, first off, did you ever think that you would be where you're at right now?
Never. Well, I'll be honest with you. So, I got a job in a bike shop when I was 16. Like, I quit college, hated it. Want to be there, was there for a couple of weeks. Was like, fuck that, I'm never going back. Job in a bike shop. Luckily, big blessing. Shout out Paradise Cycles, bike shop in East London. They took me on when I was young. Didn't really have much direction. Took me on and trained me up. Qualified. And at that time, I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna work in a bike shop for the next 20 years. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of the thing. Like, I loved working on bikes. I wasn't sad about that, but I'm like, well, this is probably what I'm gonna do now. Like, I haven't got qualifications from college because I didn't do it. My school qualifications were decent, like not nothing, but like I actually enjoy this and I'm bike, so fuck it. Like, I'm probably gonna do it. My dream at that point was, can I get to a point where I either make enough money off YouTube or have a small sponsor who will pay me so that I can ride 4 days and work free? Like, that was my dream. Like, yo, I need to make that happen by 25 or whatever. Like,
I feel it.
Because no one's really making a living doing what we do. Like, I saw D-Blocks is doing his thing out there, but like, we're in a whole different world. He's got how many followers? Like, it didn't seem like I could do it one day. And I know he still does couriering as well. Like, so it was like, I was like, yeah, I could probably work part-time one day and ride part-time, hopefully. Like, that's the dream. And then literally, like, within a year later, I worked at a bike shop for like just over 2 years. And yeah, in that second year, he came through and offered me a contract, which meant, after discussions and kind of expressing what I wanted, meant that I didn't need to work at a bike shop anymore. So it kind of went from 0 to 100. Like, I haven't even been sponsored by a brand to getting into Nike. And it was like, shit, okay.
Damn.
It's now like, yeah.
So how did that? How did the Nike thing happen?
Um, uh, years ago, probably like 3 years ago now, 3 and a bit, and like 3 years ago. Um, really too sure the exact like who spotted me or whatever, but like I got hit up by this agency, like one of these filming agencies. They'll like handle the adverts for big brands, or they'll handle music videos or whatever, like one of these filming agencies. And they hit me up saying, yeah, we're shooting something for an internal campaign, so something it will never come out to the public, but we're shooting a little something, and it's for like a global sports brand. I'll tell you who it is. Da, da, da. I'm like, oh, okay, like I could kind of tell it was Nike. There was something that kind of told me it was Nike. I remember by either like the script, and it was said something like a just do it or some shit like that. It just like it was super obvious, and I was like to the guy, yeah, I basically clocked it was Nike. Money was shit. I was like, normally I wouldn't like, potentially I wouldn't even take a job for that money. Like that at that time, I was like, even is my value even being paid for it? Like,
Damn.
do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's an important thing. I was like, it's Nike. Go down. It's not going out to the public. That means the people in the office are definitely gonna watch it. Let me go there and just put on and kind of like make sure I shout my Instagram name out. But at this time, I think Nike already knew who I was, and they were using me as part of the planning. But basically, did that, whatever. 6 months, don't hear anything. Oh, they probably just forgot about me, whatever. I don't care. And then I get an email to be a part of their advert, that their main advert, the Londoner advert. It was an advert that went in all the cinemas in the UK. It was on TV. It was before Christmas. Like it was everywhere. Like literally everywhere. And it's kind of like the first like move I did with Nike was that advert, and I was like right at the end of that advert, wheeling through central London with no front wheel. Yeah, I had like police escort in front and behind me, going through the red lights and stuff. Yeah, it was amazing, and that was like my first sort of thing. And then from there, yeah, a few months later, ended up using all the money I got paid for that advert and going out to America for the first time. In New York and LA on my green, when I had the green Stanton, which was my old mountain bike frame. Literally all the money went out there whilst I was out there. Got hooked up by Nike, went to their place, got loads of clothes, like it was sick. And then just like, yeah, when you get back, like talk to you, they're making you like exclusive to Nike. I was like, fuck yeah, all right, cool. Came back and couple meetings here and there at their offices, kind of discussing what I'd want, how they could support me and whatnot, and then ended up just signing to them and quitting my job.
Damn.
Oh, sick.
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't know that you got signed on with Nike before the Collective thing happened.
Nike before Collective, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Nike was the first one.
Dang.
The Collective wasn't too long after, but yeah. It was, my first brand. Like I've done little photo shoots here and there for £50, £100, like whatever, little music video, whatever. But like my first real opportunity, like, was Nike. Yeah.
Damn, bro. Yeah, Nike's doing things. I mean, you're doing things, bro.
Yeah.
Big
for real.
Damn. So how long? How did the Collective sponsorship happen?
Collective one was an interesting one. It was a good one. I knew Ryan Taylor. I see him in London a couple of times on his BMX and his Instagram. I hit him up. I was like, yo, if you're in London, like, you got to hit up the boys and come ride with the boys if you're in London. Like, I was kind of on that vibe. Like, yo, if you're in London, come ride. Like, you can't come London and not ride the bus. I was actually down 5 days to ride. And he was like, fuck yeah, come then. He came on a ride, like, got to know Ryan. And one of the guys from my local area, from near my mum's house, Barney, he set up this collective. Like it was small at this time. Very independent, very small company. Barney did it himself with his business partner or whatever, and it was small. So I knew Barney had done this already, but it was BMX bikes only at this time. So it had nothing to do with me. Didn't really look at it twice or whatever. and get Ryan involved to kind of be the face of Collective, kind of pop it off. It blew up once Ryan got involved in it on the BMX side of things. Got a lot of whatever, a lot of followers,
Exposure.
got a lot of promo for Ryan and whatnot. Yeah, so now I know Barney and Ryan, they both work for Collective. So one time I was like, oh, like, you guys make a BMX called a C1. Like, you should just make me a BMX and call it a C100, like, just for jokes. Like, they were like, oh, yeah, that'd be cool. And come back to me, it was like, oh, we'll make you a mountain bike. I was like, hey, let's do it. Sounds good. Like, I'm down. And then it was a interesting time because, yeah, then I ended up working on them with Signature Mountain Bike, working with their design team, finding out the geometries and stuff, and kind of going from there, designing that bike, and then ended up signing with Collective with that bike. I've been on Collective for like 2 years now, pretty much.
Nice. So I'm sure you probably never thought you'd ever have a pro model bike.
No idea.
That's pretty wild.
No idea. Yeah, crazy. I looked at the BMX scene and mountain bikes and all the other scenes like back in the day, and I was like, they'll do it. That's possible, but I never expected it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna work towards it. But like, in my head, like, I was prepared for it to never happen.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna fucking grind hard, like, and get signed by these massive brands and try and live off riding. But in my head, I'm like, no, like. It might not happen, bro. Like, it's never happened before, so why you? You know, so, and then, yeah, just hard work and dedication, it kind of just pulled through.
Yeah, man. The universe picks the right people, I swear.
Yeah, it does.
So where have Collective and Nike taken you?
That's a good question. They, journey-wise, like, nation-wise.
Like journey-wise, yeah.
Journey-wise, like, I guess they kind of signing on to Nike. You almost get your first pack of clothes and you're riding for them, and you're like, oh shit, like, hey, now I'm riding every day. It kind of just made me dedicate, more motivated and more inspired to just seeing as hard as I could to, like, now in the long term create opportunities for these young people to live with riding too. Because I'm like, yo, if I can live with riding, so can he, her, and this girl as well. Like, there's definitely, okay, it's not going to happen this year because Nike are going to risk with me, one, because controversial kind of character, especially at that time, in the sense of, like, some people don't know if Nike should support some guy flying through the streets, flying through traffic on one wheel without a helmet at that time. You know what I mean? Like, I was shocked. I'd never thought that was going to happen, especially, like, yeah. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, like, it's inspired me to kind of really push the scene. And, like, you know, personally, I've kind of gone down the commercial route in the sense of, like, I want to work with brands. I want to do that side of things instead of, like, I do YouTube videos, but, like, it's not my main focus. It's not my bread and butter. It's like, I guess I kind of wanted to go down the commercial route, and Nike and Collective kind of put me in touch with different brands and people. I got a lot of connections from them. Learned a lot from being in meetings with them constantly, discussing things with Nike, discussing campaigns and ideas, and going in Collective and working with designers and looking at sale numbers, all that side of things. So it was like, I guess, like, when those two brands really taught me a lot. It kind of helped me just really focus on riding and push myself as hard as possible, and kind of created opportunities that kept riding fun and enjoyable. So yeah, they done a lot.
Nice. Where have they taken you physically? Like,
where have you traveled? With Collective, I've gone to Dubai, which was sick. The best place for riding, but a sick country.
Damn.
Went Paris a couple times. Went Barcelona with the Collective boys one time. That was
I remember
sick.
Those videos.
The Barcelona ones were nuts. And then, here we go. Like Nike had flown me out to LA like 2 times. And my boy, like flying me and my boy out together, got us up on, like, yeah, hooked it up nicely. Out to LA a couple times. To France with them as well. And yeah, and then I've just like done a bit of traveling myself, gone to like Amsterdam and some of these other cities, New York, stuff, so
Nice.
Scotland. Well, traveled a fair bit.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember or not, but I rode with you guys down in San Francisco last year for New Year's.
New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
that was a fun night.
Bro, that was a lot of people.
Boy
down
got
there.
wasted that night. I don't know
Yeah,
if you saw
oh
him.
my God, that was hilarious, bro. Oh, they were on one. Good times.
But no, that night was sick. San Fran, I can't lie, San Fran's probably like my favorite city I've rode in.
Yeah, for bikes, as far as it goes, that's a fun city to ride in. Definitely.
The hill bombs are just nuts. Like,
yeah, well, you can hit like the whole city like in a day. 'Cause it's only like 8 square miles or something. So like, you can. I mean,
you can expand quick, like pretty easily to like fucking like the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge, and then like Twin Peaks, all them hills, and you kind of get that different kind of roads and stuff. Like a lot longer, a lot probably better kept and stuff. So yeah, San Fran was just fucking, and the vibe there was just mad cool because it has like, I love LA. Because it's like you can go downtown, you can go to the beach, you can go to the mountains, you can go Hollywood. Like there's all these different environments kind of to be in and around. But San Fran kind of had, and it was like a London version of LA kind of. It was like San Fran had much more of a London vibe. It's a bit smaller, roads a bit more compact, people kind of the same vibe. Like yeah, London I felt.
Interesting.
That strong London vibe in San Fran, it was sick. I kind of like, yeah, made me feel real comfortable there, like, which was sick.
So you coming back this New Year's or what?
I'm not allowed. I can't. I fully would have been. I would have been there right now, probably. Oh, December. I would have definitely come out in December, Christmas and New Year's. I would have done it again. I'm hoping if I'm allowed to, because of the restrictions, I'm hoping to come back down in February. Because my birthday's in February, so I was like, "Fuck it, I want to be out in Cali for my birthday for sure."
There you go.
But we will see.
Yeah, I don't know what are there international flight restrictions right now? I'm sure there probably are.
We can't fly there. You guys can fly here. We can't fly there right now. We haven't been able to fly there since this year.
Damn.
Like I don't know anyone that's gone there, but I know people that have come from there to here.
So what? Wait a minute. So I can fly there and then
citizen.
so I can fly there and then fly back home, but you can't fly here.
Because you're an American citizen.
That's crazy.
If you get back, you're back. Yeah.
That's crazy.
We're not allowed to. We can't catch a flight there. Yeah.
Damn.
Nuts. Sucks so bad because I would fully be there next month.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not really sure what San Francisco is going to be doing for New Year's because they're like kind of about the lockdown shit. As soon as like word gets out that they're locking the city down, bro, they're like real quick to do it. So
It'd probably be. Probably won't be a big New Year celebration. I don't think it will be out here either. Like we're in lockdown right now, pretty much.
yeah. Our governor out here in California is kind of an idiot.
Out here, that's what everyone says.
Yeah, we have to deal with it, unfortunately.
Prime Minister as well. Your president. I feel like everyone running the world right now is a bit fucking.
The world is up in arms, that's for sure.
I'm saying that's why I just keep riding my bike.
Right. So, dude, that's another thing too. Like, I'm sure it wasn't just like the fame and everything that you were after getting on the bikes. Did the bikes help you escape or?
Yeah, like the reason I started riding so much was just like we was riding around locally, boys and stuff, but I'm still in my local area. I'm still around all the boys. So, and it was around the age where it's like you could be going on the wrong path. It's like if you carry on going on the wrong path the next year or two, you're probably going to stay on that path. Do you know what I mean? It's at that kind of point where you're like 15, 16, like
Yep.
it's getting to that stage. Yeah, it's just not. It's the stage where you kind of really gotta keep your head screwed on and not get distracted, sort of thing. I was riding with all these guys. We're hanging out, riding, doing whatever. Yes, the path started to turn the wrong way. Get caught up in situations I didn't want to get caught up in. Around things, mates, and getting arrested and people were getting stabbed. It was like at that same time, I got invited to go and ride in central London, and that's when we was riding in central London every weekend, which was kind of like I would keep going back. Boys are like, "Oh, but you go there every week? Like, is it? Are you even fun?" I'm like, yeah, I love it. Like, I can escape my area and just go and ride in central London. There's no worries, none of you lot like doing anything I don't want you lot to do, and then like I can just go there and just feel way more free because I'm literally just exploring the city, and it's my own city, and I haven't even seen half these buildings before. Me being on my bike, I'm literally just exploring the city and getting a whole different knowledge, having fun shooting videos. Do you know what I mean? So it was a real escape from where I grew up, in the sense like it was just super fun, not too far, half an hour ride away, and yeah, surrounded by people who are in a similar position who just wanted to come out there and ride their bikes. Like, so yeah, it was defo a good thing for me to do, not get like distracted by everything going on in my local area. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tight. Because I feel like a lot of people like continue riding the bikes and the wheelies and stuff, and that's a big factor for a lot of people. And I think that's what helps connect us all. Like on the bikes, it's a trip. Like you said, like the bike storms, kids from like opposing neighborhoods, you know what I mean, can come together and ride, and it's just like that peace of mind that the bikes give us is more powerful than the hate, which is
100%.
amazing.
Yeah, and I think everyone's gone through their own journeys, all there for the same reason. You know what I mean? So it's like everyone can relate to each other because we're all there on a bike. Like, you're already relating to that person for a positive reason, for something that you both enjoy. You know, right. So I think that's what really kind of sparks up that whole family instinct of when they're together on bikes.
Yeah. So I read an article that I think it sounds like it may have been a pretty influential like ride out that you guys did, but it was for the Grenfell Tower fire.
Yeah, that was part of a bike storms, I think.
Okay.
And I think that was like, or even like, it was a big ride out. Maybe it was just to Grenfell. Maybe it wasn't even a bike storms, and it was just a big ride out. But yeah, we did a ride out to go pay our respects to the tower that got burned down. It was a shocking moment in London when that happened. It was super shocking.
How long had that tower been there? How old was it?
It's just like, I'm not sure how old it was, because it wasn't about it burning down because of how old it was, and it was a council flat, so like a project, like out in New York, you got a project like one of the tower blocks where everyone lives. It was one of them, and basically it caught on fire on one of the floors and burnt upwards, and the whole, I can't remember what floor it was, but the whole building went on fire, and it was like loads of people died. Loads of people, everyone that escaped. Like, the government was just fucking like absolutely shockingly bad at rehousing these people who had to escape.
Damn.
Fire, and people were didn't have a home for a whole year, 2 years. People still don't have homes now after that situation. Loads of people died. It was right next to a school. Like, it was just fucking, it was horrible, absolutely horrible. And it was, yeah, the fire was started inside the building, but if the building was actually safe, it would never have happened.
Damn.
It was like the government fund, like whoever it was, a big council, government, whoever it was, when they were building that building, took a shortcut to save a couple $1,000 or to save a little bit of money, ends up, that being the result. So it was a big moment where London really came together as a community for that area, you know, for those people. And there was massive protests about the government, how they were handling it. It was a big focus on the city for like a good couple months a year. People still talking you're still talking about it. And yeah, see, you would drive past this block that was fucking like, it was a horrible sight, horrible. Like you go there and it was like just seeing this block where everyone lived fully burnt out. And you're just like, fuck, like
Crazy.
all these people at the top of the block. You're just way they could have even survived it. Like anyway, you know what I mean? It was just a shocking moment. But seeing this, like when those things happen as a scene, we always feel like we need to come together and play our role, or do something, show our respect or whatever as a scene. So yeah, ended up riding out there and doing like a 2-minute silence out there, the whole ride out and stuff. So
nice.
That was it.
Yeah, I read that article and it sounded very positive on like your guys' presence there, like the bike life presence and everything. And I just kind of felt like after I read that, and I read a few others and stuff, like other articles not relating to that, but just to the bike life scene, it seemed like that was taken really positively. Like the bike life culture isn't just a bunch of hooligans out there like causing havoc and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, and I guess those situations definitely helped the image of bike life. But like at the end of the day, we weren't doing it for the image of bike life, and
Yeah.
like we were really like, that's literally what life is and all about. And yeah, in return, like by actually fulfilling how we feel and making sure we do pay our respects because we want to and stuff, in the long run it turns out as a positive thing for us, because people can really see, and like having these news people kind of like talk about how positive, it shows people. It's like, you know, they say don't film when you're doing something positive, but if you don't film it and people never see it, then they're never gonna know, you know. So it was like a good thing to show these people who are unaware of what we do and why we do it, to kind of be like, oh right, shit, like these kids have got heart, they care. Right. They took time out of their day to show respect to people they've never met. Do you know what I mean? Like it just really built. And yeah, I feel like now we've got quite a positive relationship with public and police and news. Like it's pretty widely supported now, which is sick.
Man, dang, I wasn't expecting that answer. Kind of threw me off. That's crazy. I didn't realize that's what had it all gone down there with the fire and everything. That's pretty cool.
Oh, it was. There's like, check out there's like a documentary or something on it on YouTube. Just have a little look. It's fucking. It was a crazy moment.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. This is a terrible follow-up, but is there anything new cooking up with Collective Bikes?
Collective, yeah. Well, little Harry's got his signature bike coming out soon, which is looking sick. Called the LH1, the Little Harry one. Okay. That's pretty cool. I think that's coming out early next year. And the C100 is gonna have a new color or two next year as well, another new color range or whatever. Which is pretty exciting. Might be a red. Ooh. Exclusive news right there. Might be. And then yeah, I guess like they're just working on. They've dropped a whole new range of parts. Like Corey's got a signature saddle. La Plaga, like a kid from Colombia, he's got a signature stump peg and saddle now. So they're kind of like, this collective are just working on. They're trying to do their thing of trying to put some of these riders on at the moment, which is cool. And then yeah, hopefully we just are able to go on some team trips next year and kind of get back to all being together and doing things together and working on some projects, because this year hasn't really been the best year to kind of get those sort of things done. So yeah, should be exciting. Should be a good year.
Dude, yeah, no. Eventually, at some point, I want to grab me a collective. At some point.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's like a proper like. Here, the scene originated on mountain bikes. There was always mountain bikes, you know. So
Would you ever make the switch to something else other than a mountain bike?
Did before, twice. I had two SE bikes before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a big ripper and a public enemy. I had a big ripper. Like, the first person in the UK to have a big ripper, like in our scene, like the bike scene. I don't know if some random guy who doesn't have Instagram and doesn't even ride bikes had a big ripper because he was a fan or something. Out to you if you did. But in the wheelie scene, like the wheelie scene, the first guy to be like out in the ride on a SE, like literally the first person. Kids started to buy them out here. Like after that, like it's kind of I worked out where we got them from, and then started becoming more easily accessible out here to get because it was quite hard. So yeah, I had an SE for a while. I got it like powder coated, customed, everything like, and then unfortunately my frame cracked a little bit, so I stopped riding that one. Back on mountain bikes, rode them for a while. Then I remember what it was. I think my bike broke and I was just pissed and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go buy a new bike. When I bought a public enemy.
Oh shit.
When I got the public enemy, it was like, fuck it, I want some stump pegs, do some like peg manuals and shit, they're kind of fun. Like, I'll go get a public enemy. And I just didn't really vibe with the public, like that bike that well. I just didn't like ride it, but like it wasn't as fun as the mountain bike where I was clicking through gears, doing no hand wheelies and then speeding up and doing no leg manuals. Like in the, I just like the riding style and the trick option with mountain bikes compared to the single speed BMXs. So I had that public enemy for a little bit, a couple of issues, and I thought I'll get back on a mountain bike, go back on a mountain bike again. So now I'm just like, yeah, I'm staying on the mountain bike. Like I might get a C2 at some point, like the big BMX, that collective sell, the fat bike, the C2. I might get one of them, but like literally just mess around at a strip or something, like try some circus tricks with the stump pegs or something, like I don't know, like yeah, really my sort of vibe though. No.
Right. Yeah, I think it'd be, dude, I've seen you on the mountain bike for so long now. I think it'd be weird to see you on something else.
It would be for sure. I can though, but I love I like hydraulic brakes, and I guess I quite like suspension as well. Like it just overall bike, like to take on the city. Like I just feel like the mountain bike is a more round bike and a better bike for whatever city I go to as well. Like it just feels like the right bike. So I guess I started on a mountain bike, so I'm gonna be biased, but yeah.
Dude, you definitely have created your own unique style of riding, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you ride a mountain bike. But for people who are watching, I'm sure you guys have all seen it, but dude, I swear to God, this is like straight wizard shit with you and Send It Be Rad doing like the crisscross with the parking brake, and like you do the wheelie and toss your front wheel off the brick into his front fork, and he rides away like that.
Catches in the fork. Yeah.
Bro, did it really only take you guys like that 7 or 8 tries?
Shit, it took us like 2 hours to get that one. Okay. That one was lucky though. That was fucking like, it turned out so much better than we thought it would. Or
dude,
could.
Amazingly perfect.
Perfect. But you know what it is? If we had the camera angle like head on, you would have seen the wheel like wedge in at an angle. But because the camera angle's at a side, you can't see that the wheel's at an angle a little. It just looks like it's gone sweet in. But it's like the wheel's like wedged itself in the fork. So like when he dropped the wheel down,
it just skid.
It would have gone over the bars. Yeah, like just came straight out. Because obviously there's no quick release, like there's no skewer holding it in. And the angle of the forks, like the forks are still like that. So if the wheel went in the dropouts, it would have just fallen back out again, like a normal wheelie.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you go to pop a wheelie without front wheel, the wheel's always gonna come out. So it was like wedged itself in at a bit of an angle. Like one dropout went in, one side of the axle went in the dropout, and the other side like went wedged in the fork.
Yeah,
wedged through the fork. So it was like. Yeah, and because of the angle of the camera, it was just fucking perfect.
It looks like, so awesome.
Fucking way was that possible.
No, I was showing my chick. I was like, babe, watch this. She was like, eyes is huge. I'm like, yeah, I don't know either, but amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. That was, the circuit. That kind of like, all those sort of tricks kind of just literally, like, I got to shout B-Red out for that one. He kind of sparked that whole move of trying these tricks because in it was lockdown out here. The first lockdown we had like earlier on this year, and just riding at this strip, you know, like no one's there, super quiet. It's just nice riding in silence sometimes. Like the whole city was silent, so we're at this strip like there till fucking from like 9-10 p.m. till 3-4 a.m. like just sessioning and whatnot. This one time B-Rad was like, yo, let me try this trick, innit? Like, and he sends his front wheel, picks it up, puts it on his forks, gets his hand back, grabs his wheel again and like hooks it in, and then rides off. Like, yeah, what the fuck? Why have I never done that? Why have I never seen it or done it? You know, I was like, baffed. I was like, he took the wheel off, put the wheel back in whilst he was wheeling, and then rode off on 2 wheels. Like, I've never seen anyone send the front wheel and then end up back on 2 wheels in the same wheelie. Like, I was like, oh, B-Rad, that's fucked. But I was like, if you can do that, so do you know what I'm going to do? Fuck that. I said, I'm going to wheelie, I'm going to land on it now. I'm gonna wheelie, I'm gonna land on the wheel and ride off. And that just took fucking that took hours and hours to do. Managed to get it done. As soon as I got that done, we was just like, yo, anything's fucking possible now. Dude. If we that's the trick that every time whoever ever like if you've ever wheelie without front wheel, you thought about landing back on that wheel and you just don't think it's possible. So you don't even try it. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't even think like. So then once I did that, we were just like, okay,
it's
game
possible.
on now, innit?
It's possible.
Game on. It's about to go crazy now. Yeah, like we're doing that in one night. Imagine what we're doing 3 nights of work. Like we'll be able to do anything we want. So we're working on the next one of them. So we shot a bike life circus in local strip, which is where we learned all the tricks we did. Over like 4 weeks, we filmed a video, like an edit. That one to kind of launch down to our YouTube channel, and then right now, B-Rad, and we've got a couple of the other boys involved, like Kizzy, Bazzo, a couple of other boys, Bibby. And we've taken the Bike Life Circus to London now. We're doing it all over central London and different spots around London. So it's going to be a whole variety of spots, different tricks with different spots and stuff. And yeah, the clips we've got for that one are fucking crazy. I can't wait to drop that one. Cannot wait. We've got BMX clips in there. Like the BMX clips are nuts. That my boy Bibby gets. His clips are crazy. And B-Rad's come out with some mad clips. We're getting some trio, quadruple clips together, synchronized shit. Yeah, it's gonna go off. That video is gonna go off. Yeah.
Fire. I think your guys' videos are like so entertaining to watch, bro, because I finally realized what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like skaters, like the areas that you guys go and practice doing wheelies and stuff, like, and the fact that I know you guys must be there for hours doing some of those like just miraculous looking no wheel to 2 wheel tricks and stuff like that. It's like you guys are hitting the skate park, but it's just your guys
hitting street spots now.
Yeah.
In street spots, but like adding our own move on it, like kind of putting our own little stamp on it. Like we was up in Glasgow and we did there was this famous like street skate park that we went to. It was like super. We've seen like all these top BMX riders like Chris Kyle and some of these like freestyle riders. We've seen like skateboard edits. It's like the famous spot for Glasgow. It was like me and Beard are there, just like, yo, how do we put our stamp on this now? Like, I want to have our trick that people like, so many people have seen. You know, the one, just like a super popping trick, and that's when we did this one.
Oh yeah, that was dope. Dope.
That's when we did that trick, and I guess that was just like. Just shows like everyone that our mindset is like, yo, we go to this spot, alright, cool. Let's put our twist in it now. Let's like put our little stamp. Let's shoot a little crazy fucking clip here that no one's even thought of and whatever. Like, I guess we just quite like doing that kind of stuff. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, we've been hitting street spots and shooting a whole crazy bunch of clips, trying to come up with new clips, trying to come up with new ways to take our bikes apart and still ride it, and shit. So yeah, it's a lot of fun as well, especially during this time where you can't really be in big groups and you can't really be doing certain things because you just get troubled by the police. It's like it's like just pull up to a spot, pull out the speaker, play some tunes, get some like order some food there, like hang out, try some new tricks. Yeah, it's like really liked street spots or strips until this year. I was always like, yo, I want to go through traffic, I want to ride far, I want to just fly through cars and sort of thing. But kind of where there weren't really many cars or traffic this year, I'm like, I can just
I didn't think about that.
Try these strips. Yeah, like yo, during the lockdown, there was no fucking traffic anywhere, like out here, like the first lockdown. So it was like the roads are like strips. So we were just chilling at this strip here, like just dropping these videos, and the videos were just going fucking crazy viral. Like we've had like 4, 5, 6 videos the past few months that have just gone like ridiculously viral, and we're just like, fucking hell, sweet, we'll keep doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show.
Thank you for thanks for staying up, making it happen in my schedule. It's good. Yeah, it's easy. Mornings are the best time for me.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate you making that work.
Part of the game, man. Yeah, I'm definitely. I've never been so happy to stay up till 2 a.m. in my life, bro. Word. So, you have anything? Any last words? Final stuff you'd like to say to the people? Motivational speech.
And I just think that's like the hardest question. I just stay on your bikes, keep that smile on your face, stay riding, and yeah, just be safe and have fun and look out for one another. I guess that's my motivational words for today. Not the best, still early in the day, you know. Gotta find that motivation myself right now. But literally, thank you for letting me come on your podcast. It's sick.
Yeah, man.
Well, I like what you're doing, man. I like the things. I've been watching it for a little bit now. Then it's just like, I need to. Yeah, man, it's sick.
Hell yeah! Thank you, man. That means a lot. So.
No, but it's good for the scene as well. Like, it's just great. Like, you know, it's another avenue that the scene is that attitude. The guy who's doing the podcast, talking to all the riders, like no one else is doing that. I think it's sick. So, yeah, smashing it.
Yeah, man, trying to bring the community together. You know what I'm saying?
100%. It's a good way to do it as well. A good way.
All right, man. Well, that wraps it up for this interview with the London legend, my guy, Jake100. Thank you again, man. Definitely, I'm sure you guys already do, but hit the description below. Follow him on all the links that I got down there. And until next week, ride your bikes.
Oh.